Some people just don't get it. I think they see two people, a nice uniform, a veil, some love, some paperwork, and they're not really sure what all of it means. Some people go through marriages like people go through shoes. One generation thinks marriage is important and the next doesn't. But we stand here saying that people don't get the right to decide what marriage is for. This, what we're doing today, is invented by God. It was His idea, and He gets to say what marriage is for. And He, through some crazy happenstance, has invited us to be a part of some picture. God Himself calls Himself a bridegroom, and He's bringing two people and making one out of them. This, what we're doing, is mysterious and it's majestic at the same time. Two people standing together saying there's not one moment of their life that's ahead of them they don't want to share with the other. Everything they have is for the other. But it's more than that. Somehow, in a way that we don't understand, God is taking two people today and making one. He's taking two people and somehow, both today and for the rest of your lives, He's wrapping you up in each other, and He's making one person. And it's all for the purpose of showing to everybody else, life is not about you. It's not about living for yourself. It's about loving God, and it's about loving other people. There's a really smart Christian guy who's talking about love and what Christianity is all about. And I read this, and I thought I should read it today. He says this: "Let me state it simply like this. True freedom is freedom to be my true self, as God made me and meant me to be. But God made me for loving, and loving is giving, self-giving. Therefore, in order to be myself, I have to deny myself, and give myself in love for God and others. In order to be free, I have to serve. In order to live, I have to die to my own self-centeredness. In order to find myself, I have to lose myself in loving." And you're going to find out real quick how difficult and worthwhile that task is. This is going to be one of the most difficult things you'll ever do. You have no idea how big of a jerk you are until you get married. I can't tell you how many days I've looked at myself in the mirror and said, is there a more prideful, arrogant person on the face of the earth? And my wife says, no, there is not. You're going to have those moments. Ahead of you are angry yelling and angry silence and angry tears. You're going to get angry because God is going to reach into your heart and He's going to rip out all kinds of self-centeredness and things that you didn't even know were there. And He's going to be doing it through this person that you love, that you're choosing to love. And you can't help but forgive because you love her so much. You're going to get angry, but it's going to be so worthwhile. God is on a mission to make Himself famous, to make you holy, and to make you so happy as a couple. That's God's heart for you. And God fortunately doesn't just leave it all a mystery for us. He gives us charges as husbands and wives. And he says, this is your job and this is what I made you for. Don't think that you have to be like any other couple that you know, because everybody is created uniquely, so your relationship is going to look different than anybody else's. And that's okay, and it's beautiful. But there are things that God has said to every man and every wife, that this is your job. And I wanted to just share a couple of those things just real quick. Laura, God looked at perfect creation. He saw Adam, He saw the Garden of Eden, and it was perfect. But He said something was missing. He said, it's not good for man to be alone. And so He says in Genesis 1:18, we have this moment where God looks at Adam and says, it's not good for him to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. And then He gives us a really cool picture. He makes a woman out of man. And graciously, He didn't make her out of Adam's foot so that Adam could walk all over her. And He didn't make her out of Adam's head so that she could rule over Adam. He reached inside Adam's side and He made woman out of a rib. And the picture is that God made you to walk with this man. He made you to walk together and be companions. And He made you to be a helper. Now, In our world today, if we tell a woman that they're supposed to be a helper, it's like a slap in the face. People think we're telling you that you're inferior, that you're a slave or something. But God uses that word one other time. He describes himself as a helper. You carry in you something that no man can carry. God has made you to be like himself and be a helper. He's called James to lead your family. It's incredibly difficult. And he's going to worry about stuff, and he's going to screw up, and he needs your help. James is like every other man on the planet. He's clueless. He doesn't know how to lead you perfectly, and he needs your help. And sometimes he's going to feel lost and powerless, and he needs your help. And sometimes he's going to hurt you, and he needs your help. You've got a huge calling on your life, and it's difficult, but you're going to find such peace and joy and fulfillment by being his helper and letting him lead you. Not because you can't do it, because God has something beautiful in store, and he's identified himself with you. James, you are called to lead your family.